Hey, Coach. Curious or just wondering what your initial takeaways were from a midweek game that had a lot in it.
A lot of what?
Just had a lot in it, both defensively and offensively.
Oh, I thought it was a fabulous game on our part. And, I told the team after the game, we wake up and get our day going. It's a beautiful 85-degree day. And by the time the game started, the north wind had come in and kind of levels the playing field a little bit. And I thought we just did a fantastic job from an offensive standpoint. We just had a lot of gritty, tough, hard-nosed at-bats and stayed flat in the middle of the field and put pressure on them just about every inning. And Texas Southern's a well-coached team. Coach Rob does a very good job and his staff. And, for us, with the emotion that was spent this weekend, to show up and be in the moment, can be more proud of the team.
Offensively, a lot of taking advantage of what was given to you, and a lot of times walks were as good as hits to bring in, I think, 3 runs on bases loaded walks.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, wind blowing in 20 miles an hour, it's an awful hard thing to go out and score 9 runs on 10 hits. We have to take a lot of advantage of a lot of free base runners and just had a marvelous game plan and approach offensively.
On the mound, especially there at kind of the end of the game, was there there's a few teaching moments both on the mound and defensively a little bit to work on leading into the weekend?
Well, I mean, we certainly have got to be able to cover first base on a ground ball to the right side and not give away free base runner. I mean, that ended up being costly for us. I mean, a couple of wild pitches allowed those runs to score when their middle of the order was coming up. So, certainly we've got a couple of days to practice and prepare for Tennessee.
And what'd you think of what Jonathan Childress was able to do starting it out today?
I thought it was a little bit choppy early. He got himself going, got himself back online, was able to get the breaking ball going a little bit. Would like to have gotten him through the 5th, but we weren't able to do it. So still feel like the compass is headed north. And, Chris Weber, Al Magers, those guys did a nice job, and certainly Mason Ornelas there at the end.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks, Travis.
Hey, Coach, I want to focus in on that 3rd inning. Got out of that bases loaded jam. How crucial is that for Jonathan and for your team getting all the momentum in your favor?
Well, I think it was a huge moment, and probably the biggest moment was for Jonathan. I mean, from a confidence standpoint, I felt like from that moment on, he was pretty darn good. And, he got himself on attack and became the aggressor instead of just throwing it and hoping. I thought he got himself on attack and was pretty determined after getting out of that jam.
You touched on Mason Ornelas' night. What did you see from him out there, and what allowed him to be so good tonight against Texas Southern?
Well, I thought he was nibbling a little bit early and trying to be too fine, those wild pitches. But after that, I felt like he let it rip a little bit and was on attack, and fastball was jumping out of his hand. And, he was really good after getting us off the field. Those last 2 innings were fabulous.
Whether it be Mason or another guy in your bullpen, how crucial is it to find another one of those guys like Chandler Jeswiak you can turn to the back into your bullpen?
Well, we've got those guys. We Alex Magers, we haven't used an awful lot extended here of late. I mean, he's another guy that we can count on in a big way. But, there's some other guys that we didn't get in the game tonight that we're going to need throughout the course of the rest of the season. Chris Farrell, Chris Andrade. We got to get movement if he's back throwing strikes and being the aggressor like he's capable of being. And I'm glad that we didn't throw him tonight. We've got an opportunity to have a bullpen session tomorrow, which I think is important.
Thank you, Coach.
All righty.
Thanks, guys.